Hi everyone, this is Daisy here, aka Professional High Priestess, and I just wanted to go ahead and drop a channeling regarding two specific astrological events that are going to be really important right now. So I believe that there's about 7 planets in retrograde, and it's really crazy right now. And if you're someone who is hypersensitive to the planetary alignments, and whenever they shift or move, because you're a star seed or empath for whatever reason, or if whatever planet is going retrograde, you have a predominance of that planet in your chart, you're gonna feel that, right? So I'm a Mercury. I guess I'm Mercurian. I'm from the planet Mercury, and I have a Libra moon. So with the Venus in retrograde, that's been bugging my moon sign. And then with the Mercury as well, I've been feeling some type of way. But I wanted to talk about the Saturn in retrograde and what does that mean for us right now. So basically, Saturn is the planet of karma, comprised of completely of lead. If you look at some of the NASA videos and images of Saturn, because I'm a nerd, I do this in my free time. I like to listen to the planetary frequencies, because they help align your chakras. And I like to watch like the different explorations of the planets. There's actually a hexagram on Saturn going retrograde. So I want you guys to go ahead and look up what that means, right? In terms of sacred geometry. But lead is actually the only substance that can absorb light, right? It absorbs the light body. So when we're talking about Saturn, we're talking about deep karmic justice that transcend the material world, and it literally timestamps karmic debts into your energetic field, into your DNA, right? Saturn is one of the only planets that can do that. So that's the purpose of Saturn. It's a taskmaster, and it's also Kronos, right? Kronos is the father of time. It's the Grim Reaper. It's the Hermit. And they keep a ledger of all the things that you've done. It's Anubis as well. And we talked about that on Patreon, being the spiritual court and what that means. So when we're talking about Saturn being retrograde right now, Saturn, when a planet moves in retrograde, that means that its normal function and operation is going to be backwards. So when Saturn is moving forwards, to me, in a term of karmic sense, it's literally keeping track of karma, so that when you have your Saturn return, or when there's like Saturn is aspecting a personal planet of yours, that's when you cash in on that karma, whether it's good or bad. So for me, Saturn being retrograde is when basically Saturn is now dishing out that karma. And I believe Saturn's in retrograde for 6 months out of the year. So half of the time you're building up karma, and that's being time stamped. And the other half is you're reaping the benefits, or the consequences of whatever you have facilitated on planet Earth. So, I posted in my dream channeling that because my moon conjunct Saturn, I've been having a lot of dreams about karmic retribution, like real crazy ass dreams. So I haven't been putting as much because I don't want to scare y'all. But I just wanted to say at this point in time, there's going to be a lot of karmic debt that's going to be getting paid back, good or bad. So if you've been actually in a high vibrational aspect, and you've been basically like being a good person and doing what you're supposed to do, and not getting engaged in drama or fuckery, and also been doing your DNA clearing and your healing work, because when Saturn goes retrograde, if you have a lot of ancestral karma that you've accumulated as well, and you haven't cleared that up, by doing your energetic practices, it's going to impact you as well. And also, if you've been eating bad, or engaging with people sexually who are low vibrational, or ingesting toxic TV or things like that, it weakens your DNA, and it makes you more susceptible to Saturn. Because remember, I told you Saturn is the only planet that can timestamp the DNA, right? So there's that. Now, what's going to be happening is a lot of people are going to be cashing in on rewards right now as Saturn is going retrograde. And with the energy that's happening right now, because remember I told you Saturn is basically, when it goes retrograde, it's dishing out karma that people have built up. We're in the boomerang effect. And the boomerang effect is when you put something out, you get it back immediately. So individuals that have been doing anything, living any type of way, facilitating all types of havoc and chaos, because they move through the world like they have no sense, and they move through the world as if Saturn doesn't exist, and Ma'at doesn't exist, and these higher level forces that keep universal justice and order don't exist. The boomerang effect is going to be hitting them immediately, meaning that whatever they do immediately comes back to them. And that is good. That's important to know, because right now, a lot of karmic individuals who've been operating out of that, they're going through that, and they don't know why. They're like, they must feel like, well, it's this person that's doing it to me. It's that person. No, it's the planets. And a lot of individuals who don't even believe in the planets, believe in astrology or whatnot, they're getting hit very heavy right now. And they're scrambling because it's their last ditch effort to kind of hold on to whatever power that they had. But remember, Saturn is the keeper of time, right? So a lot of these individuals that are also getting hit with this karma right now, with that boomerang effect, they're also getting karma from a past life too. And then we just had this crazy conjunction with Jupiter, Mars, Pluto, Saturn, all for those planets working all together. A lot of these individuals, they're going through severe tower moments. But, you know, Saturn is there to teach you who you are and who you are not. You know, and sometimes the lessons of Saturn are very harsh, but that is to remind you that there is a taskmaster here. There's a balance here, because Saturn is daddy, right? Saturn is the father, right? But with Saturn being the father, it's all about discipline and order. And it's all about enacting justice and discipline, right? From the universe when you've acted out of balance. So those of you who've been within alignment of the universal order, you're going to be getting some rewards. And those rewards can come monetarily. They can come in terms of spiritual gifts. They can come in the term of whatever type of abundance that you are seeking right now, right? So just be prepared for that. And remember to clear your, like I said earlier, clear your DNA and whatnot so that you can receive those gifts. So another thing, though, with this Saturn being retrograde is a lot of individuals that have been, you know, people say, why are you always talking about spell work? Because I'm a professional high priestess. Like, as high priestess, that's one of the things I'm talking about, like spell work, spiritual warfare, witchcraft, all that stuff. Those who've been playing with magic and spells and different type of things, I talked about this in the They Are Not Protected video. Their powers are being deactivated too, because the karmic debt that is being activated within their DNA is too powerful for the demons that they are working with to withstand. They're like, hey, you got too much karma, so how are you going to try to feed me and work with me to cause harm and chaos and havoc into other people's lives when you got this big ass karmic debt that you haven't even dealt with? Because remember, these entities and deities that they call them, they're from the planets. So a lot of the times they're entities from Mars or Neptune or Uranus that causes instability, right? And mental health problems, or from Saturn. So when you're calling on entities from Saturn, right, to cause delays or blockages or doing death spells and rituals and shit like that on people, or trying to cause karma into their life, and you're calling on these entities, and then you have a whole bunch of karmic debt in your field, it basically scatters their frequency, and whatever act or task that you're asking them to do, they're like, I can't do that because it's like you owe my father. So how can you try? It's like basically they're trying to cash a check that their ass they're trying to write a check that their ass can't cash, if that makes some sense. It's like they don't have enough money in the dark magic piggy bank to give to those entities, because at this point in time, they are basically reaping the negative aspects of Saturn, if that makes some sense, as it's going retrograde. And as Saturn is going retrograde and basically handing their ass to them and giving them tower moments, a lot of the acts that they've been facilitating on unsuspecting individuals, it's coming back to bite them in the butt, meaning that they're going to be getting a taste of their own medicine, and these entities and these deities are going to be leaving them. And then just with the energy that's on this planet overall, with the different conjunctions and aspects that we've been having in Capricorn, a lot of these entities, they are basically being called back to the planets, right? For larger levels of warfare. So some people are asking me, like, where do you learn all this? How did you know? Well, people that write these different books about different things, how do they know? They learn from experience. They get access and information in the dream state. They get it through channelings. And then the way in which we confirm it is through seeing how this is operating out through nature, right? So that's one of the ways. And then also some of the books that I read is like just understanding and studying astrology and watching the ways in which, like, when you study the planets and when you intrinsically understand what they mean, it's easy to understand basically the manifestation of them within a high vibrational aspect and low vibrational aspect. Plus I'm a Virgo. So it's like our job is to basically study processes and then be able to translate them to people. So there's that. Now, I did want to talk about the South Node being in Sagittarius. And the South Node, basically, the South Node is about like past life karma. And it's all about the energies that we need to get away from in this lifetime. Now, the South Node is in Sagittarius now, right? It was formerly in Capricorn, and the North Node is in Gemini. So wherever you have Gemini in your houses, or whatever planets that you have Gemini in, the North Node is going to be conjuncting them in order for you to act out of that planet or act out of that house in a more higher vibrational aspect. So if you have Gemini rising in the first house, your South Node being there means that you're going to be learning some lessons. Because remember, Gemini, the axis of Gemini and Sagittarius is teaching and learning, traveling and communication. you're going to be getting some insight and wisdom about your physicality and the way in which you present your physical self to the world. Okay. You could also maybe be getting some type of promotion or something. If you use your body physically within whatever work you do, there could be some advancement for you there. Let's say you got Sagittarius in the first house and the South Node is going to be there. You're going to be attracting a lot of past life karmic situations and people in order for you to learn the lessons once and for all and then let that go, right? So you have to see where the planet is, and as well as the house that the South Node and the North Node are sitting in order to understand how it's going to impact you. So this South Node, though, is going to be really interesting. And where's the next South Node going to be? Ooh, the next South Node is going to be Scorpio and Taurus. That's going to be deep. So, you know, Scorpionic energy is about the occult, the dark realms, the sexual energy. So there's going to be a lot with that. Ooh, damn. And then Pluto's going to be in Aquarius at that time. Ooh, Lord have mercy. But anyways, the South Node in Sagittarius. Why I feel like the South Node is more important than the North Node? Because the South Node, this happens every 12 years in one specific sign. Every about maybe 16 years, because it stays in a sign 18 months. So the South Node travels, right, throughout time, and picking up all that energy up throughout the 18 years in that one sign. And then it hits into the South Node, and then it cashes in on that energy, and then it manifests through us onto planet Earth. So the South Node of Sagittarius, remember, this is energy that it's been going around, making a rotation in cycles for hundreds upon hundreds of years, and it's bringing all that energy up to the forefront now. I remember the low vibrational aspect of Sagittarius energy is false prophet and false teacher. So right now, what's going to be happening too, and also it's misuse and abuse of philosophy, and also being misguided by spiritual teachers or ideologies or things like that, because you can understand the energy by understanding what house that planet, that sign rules over. Sagittarius rules over the 9th house of philosophy, wisdom, travel, culture, religion, all those things. So with the South Node being there, remember South Node is about karma that we need to move away from. A lot of that karmic energy is going to be coming up to the forefront for people to be able to heal and purge and transcend once and for all. So whatever planets you have in Sagittarius, it's going to be aspecting that South Node. You have Sun in the South Node. You need to also learn about past life karma around the expression of the ego. Moon and the South Node. You need to understand the subconscious mind and how you may be harboring subconscious, like low vibrational energies that the South Node is going to help you bring up to the surface to purge. Mercury in Sagittarius conjunct North Node. The ways in which you communicate and process information, how that could be in karmic energies, right? Think about whatever planet you have in Sagittarius, right? And then think about how it works, and then think about that in conjunction with the South Node of karma and us needing to move away from that karma, and then thinking about the karmic aspects of the sign of Sagittarius. So for a lot of individuals, right now, what's going to be happening is the fall of false prophets. And also too, there's going to be a lot of past life energy in terms of like false ideologies and false teachers, and that like Time Lord energy being brought back onto the planet. So right now is going to be a really critical time for you guys to really be mindful about the people that you're listening to and that you're watching, because a lot of them, if they are acting out of the low vibrational aspect of a Sagittarius energy, and you don't have to have Sag in your chart to be acting out of the low vibrational aspect, because it's an archetype. All of us can embody that archetype, right? So if you are acting out of any of the low vibrational aspects of Sagittarius energy, just know that you're going to be getting some karma. Because remember, the South Node is gone around and picked up energies from several life cycles here on planet Earth, right? So let's say, for instance, you have Sagittarius, your 12th house is in Sag, and you're going to have the South Node there right now. There's going to be past life karma about the misuse and abuse of mysticism, the subconscious realms, and also maybe, let's see, since you're dealing with a karmic individual and they got a lot of Sag in their chart, and they've been acting out of the low vibrational aspect of Sag energy, they're going to be impacted even more by this South Node transit, because they're making themselves, basically, they're putting themselves in alignment with that frequency of karma. Right? So a lot of past life karma is going to be reaped right now. That I feel like these two aspects right here are going to be really important for a lot of karma clearing, but also for a lot of karmic justice to be served. Because, you know, a lot of these individuals too that carry those archetypes of false teacher and being misguided and things like that, they've been doing this for many lifetimes. So they're going to be cashing in on that karma now. So let's say no one even has any type of Sag in their chart, but they've been in alignment with the low vibrational aspect of Sagittarius energy. They're going to be getting hit with that on top of the Saturn retrograde, right? And all of this is in an effort. It's the universe basically purging, and it's a spiritual audit, basically. And I'm going to make a video about that spiritual audit. And it's all in an effort to basically clean out the house, because what's happening right now is we move into the age of Aquarius. The ancient ones are returning. We're going back into the golden dawn, the golden age, right? And the golden age where there was like order and there was justice and there was reciprocity and there was a mechanism in which we dealt with things and with the ways in which knowledge and wisdom was passed down. So a lot of individuals acting out of low vibrational Aquarius, crown chakra energy, and Sagittarius energy, which is philosophy, wisdom, all of that stuff, culture, they're going to be getting karma in order for them to be getting deactivated and for their bloodline to get put into a place where they cannot come back onto planet Earth and cause more harm and damage and trauma. Okay. So that's really what's happening, because we have to make space for new Earth. And this is all about the cleaning up. It's basically like the cleanup process right now. The universe is cleaning up house. So you all, I think I'm going to go ahead and do a reading, put this on my Patreon, about what to expect with the Saturn retrograde, and then also what to expect with the South Node being in Sagittarius. So I hope you all enjoyed that. And I did want to say that I got a present for y'all. I got a surprise. The Karmic Astrology deck is now out, y'all. So I've been working on this for a while, and I'm gonna go ahead and do a reading with you for y'all on Patreon about what to expect with Saturn and Saturn in Aquarius retrograde, as well as the South Node being in Sagittarius right now too. So I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.